Karis gathered her tea, still piping hot, and began her ascent. She'd grown to hate the stairs. There was a difference in understanding intellectually how many stairs it took to span a 100-foot-tall tower, and in understanding physically the effort involved in ascending and descending a staircase that spanned a 100-foot-tall tower over and over again, multiple times a day, every single day. Just think of the networking opportunities, Mother had said. You'll be working for the Technic League. You're such a talented spellcaster, one of them is bound to notice and take you under their wing. Karis scoffed at the memory. The Skywatch post was about as far from the Technic League as one could get and still be in Starfall. Up and up and up she climbed, pausing only briefly to sip her tea. And why had she even wanted to work for the Technic League anyway? So she could babysit gearsmen day in and day out as they watched for nothing, and she could wear a badge that made everyone else in the town hate her? She decided, somewhere between the 4th and 5th landings, that she would quit. She had to quit. But Cartone would probably kill her if she quit. You always heard stories about the League killing this person for that offense, and you never heard about anyone quitting. Maybe she'd do it anyways. Maybe she'd quit and get herself killed by League assassins, and then her mother would see just how ridiculous this whole business was, and... This was a pointless train of thought. She wasn't going to quit. She was going to climb to the top of the stairs and ask the gearsmen what they'd seen since the last time she climbed to the top of the stairs. And they would say they saw some birds or maybe a tree that happened to be on fire. Perhaps this would be one of those rare days when they saw a gargoyle fly from the Silver Mount. Karis sighed and sipped her tea. Perhaps she'd sneak out tonight, just for a little while. She was brave enough to do that. This is Pot Against the Machine.
Pot Against the Machine.
Welcome back to Pot Against the Machine, the only Pathfinder actual play that looked at the Palace of Fallen Stars, looked how it shined for you, and all the tiles on the floor. Yeah, they were all yellow. I'm your host, and here's everybody.
Nice. Sky metal that you can't use.
Wow, that was a really cold play, Izzy.
Oh,
we got
sky
that.
metal that you can use.
Oh, nice.
Hey.
Hello. Some of those tiles are gray. Good night, Sam.
Wow. Don't tell that to Coldplay.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
Done.
they would be confused.
Find them on Blue Sky.
They would be like, who are you? What is this?
If you're Coldplay, write in. So stupid, I'm sorry.
No, that really got me. Last week on the program, the party explored the Palace of Fallen Stars, which involved splitting up just a little bit, while Brixby and Tarazi explored the west side of the palace, checked out a very busy kind of kitchen, and found a little drug den, some kennels, a way that servants go to and from the palace, and also just a place where guards hang out and sometimes literally hang in cages. On the other side of the palace, Alwyn and Kira went to check out the Temple to Xiphus, where Alwyn made best friends with a black seer named Rolga, who, they share a lot in common when it comes to their religious beliefs about all of existence being a mistake and the gods not caring about mortals. And Kira got bored and wandered off and started opening up every single door. She found a bed to lie in. but it didn't seem like a used bed. It seemed like some kind of guest bed, which was just gross. She also found a garden. She found a training room with some cool stuff that smart people might want to check out later. She found where some guards hide, which was also fun, and also a room full of like skulls and stuff. And then she went back and gathered up Alwyn, and everybody joined back together and went up to the second floor. That's where we are now.
Well, I see some big guys.
Oh yeah, we got some big hill giant guys up there. Kira is not the tallest in this huge colonnaded room. She's not even in the top 50%.
Wow.
She immediately casts a large person on herself.
Well, with the bad posture attached to being an octogenarian version of Kira, she's one of the shortest people in the room. It's heartbreaking.
Down there with bricks.
There are several doors. Like once you come up out of the stairwell and go past the stairs that go further up into, whatever's on the third floor, there's a wide section of the room where there's a door out to the east and a door out to the west. And then the room narrows and there's another door out to the east and a door out to the west. And the room keeps going.
This is a no-no room over here to the west.
You said the room keeps going? Oh, I see.
Yeah, the room keeps going to the north. When Brixby peeked over to the west, he saw what looks like some kind of a meeting room with a long table in it, but definitely not a yellow floor over there.
It's not like there's anybody standing 2 feet away that would notice if we went in.
No, it doesn't look like anybody was in there right now. But as Kira heads north along the hallway, she can see two people kind of packed into an alcove off the side of the hallway, having a kind of hushed conversation, and they stop talking when she gets close. There is a man who almost looks like a hybrid of Asher and Vargas. He's a big, kind of muscular guy who looks like he's probably from Alkenstar or somewhere in that same general vicinity. And he's even got facial hair, kind of like Asher's. But the right side of his face is massively scarred, like something horrible happened to him that destroyed half of his head, much like Vargas. And he is talking to who appears to be a Garundi woman who is dressed kind of fancy, not horribly scarred, unlike him, but, dressed a little bit in that sort of spellcastery vibe. And they sort of stopped talking and just kind of looking at you, and the man says, "Can I help you?"
I'm on a tour.
Uh-huh. And you look really familiar. Are we friends?
He squints at Kira and says, "I don't think I know you, ma'am. Move along. This is not part of the tour."
Kira thrusts out a hand. It says, "Well, I'm Kira. Or Mira. I'm Mira. I'm Mira."
Did she say she was Kira?
Nope, she sure didn't. She did not. She didn't say that. Why would she say that? That's crazy.
Luck roll. Luck roll.
She said
Hey,
Mira.
hand
That's
was
her
still
name.
on the chess piece, verbally. The verbal hand.
The verbal
Yeah,
hand was still in the chess piece. He looks down at this elderly woman's hand and says, "If it's all the same to you, I'd like to get back to my conversation with my colleague here."
Oh, of course, young person. Yep, don't mind me. I can't hear anyway. I mean, what did you say?
They both just kind of stare at you, blinking.
Oh, fine, I'll move away.
Blinking more than necessary.
Or if I stand right here? Is there like...
Roll to eavesdrop.
Yeah, I was going to say, is there an eavesdrop roll? Like, could you... I mean, I can only visually perceive. Oh, I'm not good at stealth. I'm going to move away.
Yeah, if you want to sneak.
Yeah.
No, I'm not good at sneaking or stealth.
And Alwyn has a decent stealth, but he also has a 7 wisdom, and he would not understand that, like, this is a good idea to listen to these people. He's just like, there's someone else in here. He would continue on the hall.
Well, down at the far end of the hallway, there's some double doors. There's a big single door leading to the north, and then there's a smaller door that leads to the west.
Does Kira mention anything about their interaction with the people up there mentally?
Yeah, I think she'd say, these old people don't want me to know what they're saying, and it seems suspicious.
Also, neither of them are Kellids, so they might be technically.
Yeah, that sounds about right. If I can pop into a room, I can go invisible. I just don't want to do it in the sight of anyone. See if I can hang out a bit. What are the color of the tiles in there, Tarazi?
Grey, unfortunately.
Nah.
Let me just see what room it is that Tarazi just looked in. There's a lot of rooms in this place. That was a room that was filled with, like, all along the sides are broken shields with stuff painted on them. There's a wooden table that dominates the center of the room, and then there are, like, some statues in there and stuff.
Brixby's going to go back down to the landing of the stairs up to the 3rd floor.
Okay.
And it's going to cast invisibility on themselves.
Okay.
I want to see. I'm going to walk on back out. I just want to see what happens. Am I getting purged? Are they all looking at me?
You don't appear to be getting purged, no.
Does a 21 knowledge loke help me recognize either of those people?
I think probably when you were in Torch, I'm not sure if we ever did this on the show, but probably when you were in Torch, somebody at least would have described what Gartone looks like, because I don't think any of you have actually encountered him before, but he's a pretty distinctive looking guy, you know, a big old fella from Alkenstar with almost identical scarring to Vargas. He stands out. And it's a pretty memorable description, so I think it's fairly easy to draw the conclusion when you see him that's the guy.
But the woman doesn't look familiar to any description I've heard.
No, I don't think so.
Invisible Brix is going to try to stealth on over there and just chill. Can I hear from here? Or is this like a gotta get close situation, here being about 15 feet away?
I think they're definitely speaking in hushed tones, but you can probably hear them from there. But where is everybody else? Like, can they see Kira still across the hall just hanging out?
Kira's directly across the hall just staring at them. No, she'll move. Tuck herself away in a non-hearable corner.
I think Alwyn is maybe trying to hide behind a pillar up in the top corner.
Yeah, she's gonna stand.
Actually,
over
he's
here.
smart enough that he would be on the same side of the wall as them, hiding him.
Yeah, they definitely wait for a while before resuming any sort of a conversation. But, like, once it seems to be that Kira has left and no one is actually paying attention, Gartone whispering back to this woman. He's like, well, how long do you think the supply will hold out? She says, I haven't been keeping that close of tabs on it, but I think that we're going to have to reproportion some of our resources sooner rather than later. Without Hellbroth and with the rate the man goes through fluids, it's going to be a matter of weeks at the most before he, he might just keel over, I suppose. And Gartone says, oh, we should be so lucky. Oh, listen, why don't you go take a show of hands, see if anybody is willing to take the bullet for the team for at least a little while and start refining some of the fluids in Hellbroth's place. If they're not, then we'll figure something out. We've still got a little bit of time. She says, of course. And then this woman starts heading off the other way, down to the south, and as she's heading down the hallway, she gives Kira a little bit of a look, and then she proceeds to head off and down the stairs. Gartone, without his conversation partner, heads up to the north, pops open those double doors, heads inside, and closes the door behind him.
Did you all visit the other doors while Rix was invisible? The one to the north and northwest?
Yeah. Alwyn didn't open any of them, probably because I feel like I would have been like staying quiet at the end of the hallway so you could hear and it wouldn't scare anyone off.
Totally. Yeah, no, makes sense. I just wasn't sure if he popped in there or anything.
I don't think so. With the hill giants, I've already ruined things for the team by accidentally introducing my actual character name. So Kira's going to stay away from all the doors, which didn't happen, by the way.
Sure it didn't.
Alwyn will open this one just to the north of the alcove they were in.
Oh, God.
And he will say, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I thought this was a yellow door." And he will immediately close it on the what appeared to be at least a half dozen hill giants in a gray floored room.
Yeah, it just in a quick glance, looks like that's where they live. There's like giant size.
He will apologize to them and immediately close the door.
Oh, crazy, and that's where Zydo
They should really
went.
put better signs on these.
Or no, Gartone. My bad.
Yeah, Gartone definitely went through there.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if he specifically has that relationship, or if it comes from the Sovereign.
Like, would invisible bricks have wanted me to leave the door open half a second longer or anything, or no?
No, I think we really should make a... If we're going to do anything, like, we can do some teleporty hijinks for sure, but I feel like there has to be a biscuit that is worth risking it for, as they say.
Biscuit worth the risk it.
It's like, it's like Tarazi found a room that's the right color.
Yeah, off to the west side of this hallway, there's another kind of smaller hallway that is actually yellow. And the door at the end of that hallway leads out into... I lost my key here. Where'd it go? It leads into a room that is lined with statues along all of the walls. These statues are uniformly of like big muscular Khalids of all genders, but their faces have all been like mutilated, so you can't identify who any of them are. It's like somebody took an axe or a hammer and just messed them all up. There are doors to the... there's a door leading down to the south here. There's a couple... There's one leading to the west, and there's one kind of to the northwest that's a set of double doors. And then there is a door to the north. Just a single door.
Follow Tarazi wherever Tarazi goes.
Looks like that was a gray door, so Tarazi quickly closed it.
That looked like a large bathing pool in that room.
Man, this is wild. It would be like going to Disney World and you just open the wrong door and there's like Bob Isker, like, white, I don't know, like bathing, I guess, or possibly like in a meeting.
Bathing or in a meeting, one of the two states.
I mean,
Yes.
who among us is ever doing anything other than bathing or taking a meeting?
That's kind of what it feels like. But that's neither here nor there.
Oh.
Hey, this one's yellow.
Yeah. yellow in there.
Alwyn opens the door directly to the north of the one Tarazi opened.
This is a large
Oh,
room
that guy's cool looking.
that is built to... It looks like a bar. It looks like a tavern, a sort of somewhat intimate but still quite large feasting hall with several large tables. There are a number of palace guards eating and drinking, sitting at the tables and just kind of hanging out and talking. It looks like there is a set of stairs there that lead down to the back to the kitchens, just like geographically speaking. It looks like food is run straight up the stairway from down there to up here. And there's all sorts of servants and stuff coming and going in this part.
I noticed one of these tokens is different. Does that one look like that's somebody important?
Looks like that's probably an officer of the guard kind of thing. And like there's a raised section of the room. There's a big wide stairway that goes up to a room that kind of, or up like a mezzanine that kind of looms over the rest of the room. And there's a single large table up there. It looks like, you know, somebody important eats up there. There's nobody eating up there right now. There's just like a servant cleaning things up.
And that area has a gray floor up there?
Yeah, that's gray floor. So, and that's a no area for hanging out.
What about the stairs?
Where Kira's going now, and if she heads up there, the servant will go like, no, you can't be up here, you can't be up here.
Oh, okay, sorry. I thought the stairs were fair game.
It's the private area for the Black Sovereign and his consorts.
Oh. How often is he there?
Oh, now and again, when he tires of the feast, he comes up here. We never know when he'll show up.
Oh, how exciting for the rest of us to witness him.
Oh, yes, it's very, very exciting. The servant looks very frazzled. Is sweeping up where Kira steps, so, you know, in case she left any scuff marks on the stone. She don't want anybody to see.
Kira would never.
Alwyn will walk up to the guard captain that's eating and interrupt his meal to say, so the Black Sovereign comes here sometimes to eat or to drink?
Yes, when he wants to share a meal with one of his many spouses, or just have a bit of a quiet time away from the feasting upstairs, he comes down here. Not terribly often. His moods are unpredictable.
That seems like a nice thing for him to do, to come here and eat with all of you.
Yes, he's quite generous with his time.
And Alwyn will telepath Brixby. Brixby, this guy looks like he might be important. Is there anything you think if I could ask him?
I mean, possibly might be useful to impersonate him later, so getting his name would be helpful. But that's all I can think.
Oh, by the way, my name's Vlados. What's your name?
I'm Bram. Bram of the Black Horses.
It's nice to meet you, Bram.
What are the guards comprised of? Yeah, why are they here? How many guards are at the...
So, that's a Kelid tribe name, right? Are all of you guards local tribe members?
Of course, we're all from the various followings. We have been brought in as Keroth Kul's most trusted, most elite warriors. Many of us fought with him in the great campaigns. Well, at least though there are a few of us old enough to have fought alongside him. But yes, well, most of us are Black Horses. We're the most numerous, but plenty of other followings are represented as well.
About like a rough amount of guards at any time. There's a lot of you. How many? I have a bet with my friend.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know. I saw Izzy did
roll.
a roll. I
Sorry,
didn't know if they wanted to.
I'm so used to rolling low for knowledge local or any knowledges that I just assumed it wouldn't happen. But then I rolled a 23, which is not terrible. So knowledge local on that guy to see if Kira recognizes him from stories.
Well, we even met Black Horses back in episode 38.
Yeah, the middle-aged lady that was mad at Vargas was a Black Horse.
Yeah, so Kira would remember the Black Horses as a Kelid following that definitely wasn't a fan of Vargas. And I think with a knowledge local that high, she probably even knows that Keroth Kul himself came from the Black Horses before he united the various followings of all of Numeria under his banner. That, they're kind of a favored and one of the largest followings, basically because the boss is one of them.
Kira screams all this information that her friends definitely already know into their heads.
No, she screams it out loud.
No, it's just that one time.
So, you say that you're his most loyal veteran followers? Does that mean he has other followers? How many people are here? From what I understand, Numeria isn't at any kind of war or anything anymore, right? So I can't imagine you have too many soldiers anymore.
Well, the whole hill leading up to the palace is covered with us. There's a huge host, and then, of course, we can raise thousands and thousands of Kelids at a moment's notice when we need to go to war and continue the Black Sovereign's campaign to expand his territory. We'll be ready at a moment's notice. I think in the palace itself, and there's a few dozen of us at any given time, and of course there's the giants and the various other technically such and such as kind of grumbling that part.
Oh, and he'll kind of lower his voice a little bit. Does that mean you don't like the Technic League very much?
Never been a huge fan of, all that witchcraft. They have their uses, but they're slimy ones.
Not a horrible roll, but not a great roll either. That would be a plus 16. That is a 23 diplomacy, because I'm assuming I'm going to need diplomacy to try to get him to say anything about the league. So he'll say maybe, if there's so many of you, and from what I understand, so few of the league, how come you don't just kick them out if you don't like their witchcraft, or force them to do what you want? From what I've seen, they just kind of walk around like they own the place.
It's Kevoth Cool, our Black Sovereign, abides by their presence and treats them as advisors, so we are all obligated to respect their place here. I don't think it's any secret that they are not popular amongst the Kelid population, but we do as the Sovereign commands.
He will relay that to the two not in the room. And I notice you're dressed a little different from some of the other men in here. Can you tell me anything about that?
I am a captain in the guard. I report only to Tekmakul himself, and then, of course, to the Sovereign beyond that.
I've heard of this Technicool. Is he like the head of your army or something? I love his name.
He is in charge. He is in charge of the palace guard. He is a cousin of the Sovereign himself. He's a great man. He's a powerful, powerful warrior.
We want to ask this guy. Thing is, I don't know how much. I'm assuming everybody, we all talk to each other, but I don't know, which I would know, if we would want to ask them anything about, Vargas or his clan or anything. I don't know.
Feel yes, I think by the rules of the game, anybody that's, above 11th, 14th is, legendary in some... I only know this through the capacity of, legend lore of the spell. So, Vargas is well-ish known, but at the same time, I feel like we specifically, inquired after, the ambiguous use guest, prisoner or friend, that, he could be, that,
I don't know, even just, asking, the clan or anything, because I've sort of asked around that. He will. Let's see. He's probably going to get punched in the face or something.
Yeah.
You mentioned that...
You can handle a punch.
You mentioned that you're from the Black Horses and that there's many other followings that are also here. I was in a city called Torch a while back, and I heard of a following called the Mountain Fist. Have you heard of them? Are they part of the guard?
He sort of glowers a little bit and looks at the other soldiers at the table who are looking at him kind of expectantly, for direction there, and he says, I don't know any following by that name.
Okay. Maybe I got it wrong. He will definitely relay that to everybody. I asked him about your friend's clan, and I think he's actually make a. That is a 13 die for a 20 sense motive. With that, does he notice that he seemed odd when he answered that?
Yeah, I think it's appears to be like a combination of fearful and maybe angry. Like, perhaps there are things we do not speak about.
Yeah. So he'll telepathically say, I asked him about the following that your friend's from, the one you think might have got captured. They said they don't know it, but I'm pretty sure they're lying, and that maybe they don't like them very much.
That sounds about right.
Oh, I see my friend Mira. Thank you for talking to me. You have a very beautiful palace. And he will go over to Kira. Because I think we've got pretty much
it's me, Mira.
what we can from this room.
Well, we'll be going.
And they watch the two of you go and go back to their meal. What have Tarazi and Invisible Brixby been doing out here?
Tarazi would have let Invisible Bricks know that this door is locked and we probably should not try and open it.
Could we do a perception, see what we hear? Oh, sorry.
Good idea.
Could do a little percepti-do on the northern door, the lone door at the far northern end of the palace.
Yeah. Tarazi wouldn't have gone in after his other two friends. He's been trying to keep the illusion up that we're not traveling all together. So while they were having their conversation, he would have been trying to look at more of this floor.
Are we listening at the door or looking at the door? Because if we're looking at the door, 45. If we're listening at the door, I can't help you.
It does look like a door.
What do your ears see?
If we're looking at the door, then it's 35.
33 to listen while Mira and Alouette are in the other room. This is retroactive. It's okay.
Jumping back in time, Tarazi listened at the door and didn't hear anything.
I didn't hear anything. Suppose we can... I'm not sure where you are, but might wait a little bit while they are talking in the other room, but I also might sort of see if the next floor up is yellow or gray.
Sounds like that's where the Sovereign is feasting.
True, I guess. I don't know if above is directly adjacent or just simply on a higher floor.
Heading up the stairs.
Yeah, why not take these fun curved stairs? If it's clear that I come up the stairs and it's like Gray City from here on out, I would just shrug, turn around, and walk back down.
Yeah, this appears to be publicly accessible all the way up the stairs. And we go onto a third map.
Just a big creepy smile of staircases.
Yeah,
it's very Cheshire.
As you come up these stairs, you find a vast hall resting directly beneath the palace's central dome. Its curved walls arch upward to a height of 80 feet above the center of the chamber. Great smoking torches sputter on the walls amid hundreds of hanging skulls, furs, weapons, and other trophies harvested from humans, monsters, and robots alike. Over a dozen wooden feasting tables fill the hall, looming above it all, from an upraised stage, is the Sovereign's throne, where there sits a single massive Khalid man looking down on everything in a vast chair of black pitted metal, surrounded by even more trophies and mounds of treasures and tributes. There are guards all around this room. There are hundreds of Khalids at the tables, like feasting and drinking. There is a constant procession of servants in and out, up and down the stairs. There is discarded bones and plates and flagons and stuff all on the floor here. There appear to be gargoyle-like statues next to the wall, just standing there, like art pieces in the room. There are a few guards, and what appears to be the Black Sovereign looking down upon everyone.
I would like to be visible before emerging from the stairs.
Nope, you can't. You came up invisible and everyone sees you reappear. Oh, and there's a gearsman here. Fancy looking gearsman. Just a couple guarding the stairs.
Yeah, that is a really cool gearsman art. I love the helmet. It's also got like a Fallout plasma caster. Do we want to get closer and get a better look at him, or what are we doing?
Yeah, let's go stare
Let's go
at him.
gawk at the leader.
I mean, we're tourists, that's what you do. It's like when I went to, and watched the changing of the guard. You just stand there gormlessly in front of the palace.
No Gorm.
Once it becomes clear that you're like moving toward him, Kevoth Cool does stand up and throw down the mug that he had, and shattering it on the ground because, of course he does. That's just kind of what you do when you're the barbarian overlord on the throne looming above everyone. And he says, "Visitors! Greetings! Greetings from the mightiest king in all the world. Identify yourselves to the Black Sovereign."
Hello, Mr. Kevoth Cool. My name's Vlados. This is Mira, and then Tarazi and Brooksby give me fake names in my head.
Tarazi is notably not approaching Kevoth Cool and is...
What is my Asimir friend's name?
Toby.
Bumblebee?
Yeah, that's fine.
I didn't hear what you actually said.
I did say Toby.
Toby.
But Bumblebee is like a good. It's a good little nickname.
This is Mira and Toby.
You can know our terms of endearment.
Toby?
Yeah.
Tell me, Vlados, Mira, and Toby, what makes you all so important that you would bring yourselves to address the Black Sovereign himself and interrupt my feast?
You asked us to introduce ourselves when we came into the room, and I thought it would be polite.
Well, you surely have come into my hall for some reason.
We're actually new in town, and we're taking a tour, and we heard the palace was open, so we wanted to look around. Sorry if we're interrupting anything.
I'm gonna need a bluff check.
That's not a bluff. That's exactly what we're doing.
You're tourists?
I didn't say we're tourists. I said we were new in town and we're looking around. We heard the palace was open. To be fair, my bluff and my diplomacy are like the exact same roll. There's a 2-point difference, so I'll roll bluff.
Well, you can roll either one.
That is 33. Bluff.
And Kevoth Cool thinks for a second, and then he starts laughing. He goes, "Very well. Welcome to Starfall. Welcome to the greatest city in the world. You may step forth and offer tribute to the Black Sovereign, and then enjoy in the revels."
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Since we are new, what kind of thing would be tribute? Would you like maybe some gold, or we might have some weapons or something?
Gold, weapons, magical treasures, any wonders you bring from the world beyond that you think would be worthy of offering to a king.
Pick up any junk we haven't sold yet. Let me look. Look at our loot sheet and see if we have like a +1 shirt or something.
Jingle some keys over this junkie's head and like.
Here's this noble
know what we
blade
have?
you definitely didn't take from killing one of your people. No, I'm not even part of this conversation. I'm just having fun.
What do we have?
Kira would like to offer 90 goo tubes.
Sparkle goo tubes. We have 32. Those are special.
Oh yeah, the special edition ones.
Okay, we'll offer those too.
Yes.
Special goo tubes. All the goo tubes. Kira just wants to get rid of them.
We have a +1 amulet of natural armor and a +1 ring of protection. We all have those. We took them from Helbroth, but I don't think he would know they're Helbroths unless they have like his face on the amulet or something.
You're like, Yeah. Little label.
Wow, this amulet looks just like the one I gave Helbroth for giving me those drugs.
I mean, and you can see in the pile of treasure all around him, like there's a crap load of money. There's like a nice looking axe. There's a beautiful looking great sword and a massive shield. There's a couple guns and some tech armor. And
Oh, you know what? Another thing we got from Helbroth, we got a masterwork dagger. So Alwyn is gonna take that out because that's a favorite weapon of his god anyway, and say, I have this very finely crafted dagger that I would like to offer you.
he looks down at it, kind of turning his nose up at it a little bit, and says, "Very well, you may place it on the dais. And the rest of you? What do you offer your king?"
We, Oh, I can actually, like, get rid of something that has been giving me a slight benefit, but you know what? Let's do a real off. No, wait, that thing is so worth. Never mind. Cut all this out. Ooh.
Take it
I'm
back,
not
take
even
it
gonna say
back,
what
take
it
it
is.
It was the goo cube.
It was the goo cube. I wanted to give that away. Let's see, don't we have those mag boots? But again, like we'd be carrying tech, so like without badges on.
Gosh, I've had a pot and some soap on my character for like 5 years now. Sorry, like 4.5. And flint and steel.
I mean, we could just give him some Numerian fluids. Like, I'm joking.
You could see what happens.
I heard you like this.
That's it. You know what? It's not that we should necessarily knock out the technically. It's that we should supplant the technically. And that is what we are going to do. Is our shadow narco government.
And that's what I said back before we killed Helbroth. We need to take over his operation.
This is not the first time becoming drug dealers has come up.
We have 4+1 rapiers from those guys that tried to rob us.
I'm down to give away the rapiers. Also the goo tubes.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm assuming Mira is giving him the goo tubes, the sparkle tubes.
Yeah, that's she placed them on the dais.
Yeah. And then, some like rapiers or something. Do we still have like that? Man, I don't want to give him something too nice. Maybe you're right. Let's throw up the natural armor and ring of protection.
Yeah, because those aren't
No,
worth
wait.
a super lot, and we all
That's
have them.
terrible idea. Never mind. They do belong to Helbroth. So, like, if maybe someone wanted to, who knows, right? We have to assume there's better divination magic at this point. So, yeah, didn't we get a bunch of stuff from killing those assassins?
Yeah,
The rapiers.
yeah,
That's what they are.
rapiers,
Yeah.
belts of incredible dexterity, cloak of resistance +1, ring of protection +1 from them.
Okay, let's give him 8 sun rods. Yeah, let's throw a rapier up there. Let's throw a cloak of resistance +1 up there. We don't want to be too flashy. We're not like trying to give the best gift at the birthday party.
And he looks on as you, pile these things up on his stage amongst his other treasures. So, looks like mostly kind of approvingly, but kind of like a little bit unimpressed. He can't be happy with his gifts because then he wouldn't be the big scary king guy. He does bust out a sparkle goo tube and just absolutely crush it before yelling like, "Drink!" And then a servant comes rushing from off stage with another flagon of ale for him and maybe like a giant spliff of flay leaf, which he starts smoking immediately even though he didn't even ask for it. And then he says, "Go forth, enjoy yourselves. There's plenty of food and drink for everyone."
Yeah, Alwyn is already sitting at a table.
Yeah, he flops back down. And basically you have ceased to exist to the Black Sovereign as he is enjoying his drink and his smoke.
It's probably just like, it's better to not know what's in the treasure hoard that you'll certainly get killed trying to steal from. I feel like it's just better to not even try to figure it out. Sometimes not knowing is half the battle. I do have one thing I'd like to do before we leave. Wondering... I want to find a way into either the room that Gartone went into or another grey area that doesn't look... Actually, ideally, a grey area that has no one in it. I think that we should store the gun here. This would be the best way for us to start to foment a little bit of... We could also put it inside the Black Seer's room. But there's no guarantee that guards would go in and find it, so we might want to balance it in a way that it does get discovered. Thoughts?
Let's hide it here.
Like in the throne room?
Directly under the throne.
I don't know how I would do that.
If you went invisible again, do you think you could sneak it into that big pile of stuff near him?
This is the head of our country. There is no guarantee that, as much as I love the spell invisibility, something that simple would allow me to approach this extremely seasoned and dangerous head of state. I feel I intentionally removed that before we came up here. I fear, unless we had some I don't have shrink item. I'm trying to think about some other innovative way to get it into the pile, but
Okay, and this is probably a stupid question, but we can't just leave it on the table, right? And then run away really fast. As I say it out loud, it feels not good.
no, it's not a bad idea. I think the idea is what narrative do we want to craft, right? The most seemingly plausible one is because they're a barrel of crabs, pit of vipers, choose your animal analogy. They technically seems to love to steal from each other. That seems to be their thing, is to just even the way that Gartone spoke about we're going to have to convince somebody to get off of their own personal what-to-do's it and start Walter Whiting our man some more drink. And that alone, I think it's just so I think there's probably an idea that's maybe I don't know. Because at the same time, if someone can think of another way, if we did throw it in the pile and maybe he was so out of it, they could be oh no, did you use this gun? And he'd be what about these guns? And then he'd flex and throw up. Yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah, he's totally got a pot up there for throwing up in. It's labeled the rally pot.
I'm impressed he throws up into a pot and not just down on the floor.
Well, he's trying to beat his personal record for volume in it before he passes out.
I think if we either put this in the room that Gartone went into, or find another grey room downstairs that we could just sneak it into, that would say what someone connected with the palace used it. I know the 26 in, I should have a better idea on how to do this, but...
That's very much why Kira's not chiming in with her 8, I think. We're up to 8 now. Woo! 8 int.
That's proportionately so much smarter than she was before.
Yeah, leaving it somewhere in the palace is definitely the best possible place we could leave it with everything that happened in the market. But yeah, I am also at a loss as to the best place to leave it in the best way to get it there without getting caught.
I'm sure the Technic League has a bunch of snitches and probably does something for information if they had that relationship with Sandville. So, I mean, there's probably a way to feed that information in if we think that is
We could just approach one of them and say
what about the what's their name, the wraith, the ghost, what's the person, the bald person with scary eyes?
Yeah, the Shade.
Yeah, I mean, what if there's a way we get that information to the Shade, since we're going to the thing tonight? But if we'd have to so the idea then would be invisibility, dimension door, and I could even bring someone with me. I have the invisibility casting, so I could have someone else come with me, and we could hide it in there, and then dimension door out.
Yeah, works for me.
You down for the dirty deeds that we're going to do dirt cheap, Tarazi?
If we just put it somewhere and in a gray area, like you were saying, Gartone walked through a room full of hill giants, so could be tricky to get through. But one of the other gray rooms, we could put in a friggin' trash can in one of the meeting rooms and make it look like somebody used it. Like it wouldn't have to be.
Yeah, like internal strife type thing. Like, oh, hey, somebody took Keck and didn't tell anyone else and used it.
Right. And it's totally, I think that like Jeff really hit on the right thing. Because I mean, we're really relying on what narrative they're going to create from where they find the gun from context. Okay, cool. So maybe descend to level 2 or level 1 and try to find an empty gray room.
Yeah.
Also, who wants to be invisible with me and go on a potential dimension door journey?
Okay.
Should probably be a marshal.
I'll do it.
All right, perfect.
I was going to say probably either Kira or Tarazi.
I'm going to knock off 2 more castings of invisibility here. I am out of regular old invisibility.
I know there were some meeting rooms on the second floor. On the first floor, I don't know, unless ooh, what about that guest room?
I was going to say, Kira saw a bunch of empty rooms.
Oh, yeah, that one that Kira laid in the bed in that looked like it was for somebody important.
Stick it in the bed.
Yeah, that sounds like a not bad idea.
Yeah, Kira probably remembers where that is.
Yeah, on the first floor, that's over down in the southeastern corner.
Oh, I was going to say east. Good for me.
You did it.
Yeah.
If only we could sneak it into Tech McCool's room, but I don't see a way to do that.
Yeah, not without, like, creating some obvious diversion. Like, sure, we can open the door, do something wacky, try to get them to look a certain way, and then try to sleight of hand it somewhere in the room. But it's also like if, you heard a loud noise while you were eating with your family and you looked back and there was like a shotgun on the table, you wouldn't be like, whose shotgun is that? Which one of you 3 does that belong to? Like, so I guess I would say that I think you're all right. Like the exalted guest room seems like the best idea. I really wish we were able to follow that, the woman that Gartone was speaking with, to know which room she went into. The question is now, do we need to, I guess someone who hasn't opened that door, Tarazi, could open that door for us while we're invisible.
Are you going through that training room? That's gray territory.
No.
No.
All right, I didn't remember to close those doors. They should have been closed.
Honestly, oh no, the training room would be a bad idea. Or would the training room be a great idea? Because like if no one's staying in the bedroom, that seems like the place where someone would sneak off and use roids.
I usually sneak off and use roids in the guest rooms when I go over stay at people's houses.
That's what they're for.
So it was this one to the east?
Yeah. Yeah, Tarazi opens that door and the room still looks empty.
These other doors get opened? One did.
One did.
Yeah, the one down here leads to like a dividable room with 4 beds in it.
Can we listen at this one?
Sure.
But the other one here, let's see what we hear. I'll roll a perception as well. My ears do a 38.
47.
You hear the wind rustling through leaves.
Oh, that's the outdoors. I remember because the one at the furthest south also let outdoor, right?
Yeah, Kira saw a little garden out there.
It was very nice. It was very nice.
Do we want to put this in the bedroom or in the garden? Probably the bedroom.
Yeah, we should put it under the pillow like a tooth.
Now the real question is, how do we tell someone to look? How do we ensure its discovery? Because what if this is a room that isn't used very often? You know what? What if we don't hide it too much? What if we literally just lane it up against, or try to put it in a trash can that's like comically 1/3 of its size, and like a napkin on top? Or, make it look hasty.
I like hasty.
Be a great time to have that Mad Monkeys spell.
Just trash the room with monkeys. So what's the plan? Where are we leaving it?
Comically small trash can.
All right, just like by one of the beds kind of thing.
Yeah, for where you put your, like, night tissues.
Yeah, every hotel room has 2 small trash cans.
One in the bathroom and one in the main area.
So the idea is, the narrative we're creating is someone used this gun and inhabilified themselves, right? And they...
And not just they use it, but that it's the one that was stolen from the night market, which we assume the League knows about since we heard that guy's guards all got killed.
Those hill giants that were in that room, were they like chilling? Were they sleeping? Were they...
You only had a very quick glance, but some of them were probably lounging, and some of them were more up and about. It's not like it's night, so they're probably not really sleeping.
Wish we had a guard outfit. This would be great if we could look like one of the guards.
Aren't you a little short for a guard?
I think something along the lines of... Could we just say that, like, we saw someone going in there? Could we just tell somebody that, like, we saw somebody going into a gray room? Like, on our way out? Like, walking out? And just be like, hey, I don't know. Looked like somebody broke off of the tour and went into that room or something.
Yeah, Kira's totally the type who would tell. Mira is totally the type who would tell.
Well, the other thing that I actually knew this last time, but no time has passed. Do we know if that spell is still active? How long? Because Brix has that spell too, right? Does he know how long that stays active?
Which one?
Locate object.
Oh,
That's like minute per level.
yeah, it's minutes per level. It's minutes.
I was gonna say if it was like days per level thing, we wouldn't even have to tell anyone. We could just leave it, and since it's outside the bag, they would find it. But yeah, if it's only minutes a level.
We saw people in this room and in this room, correct? Like Cool's room and then whatever this room is up here.
Yeah. Yeah, that was Druggy Guard's room.
And how out of it were the druggy guards?
I mean, I don't think that you really closely investigated, but nobody yelled at you when you opened the door. They would just kind of slowly looking over kind of thing.
All right. I almost just want a dimension door into the giant room. Is that like a terrible, intrusive thought?
Hey,
Gang, like...
telepathically, the 3 of us leave. Not to, because Brix could always teleport back to Mockery if things get real bad, although I hate the thought of leaving you.
No, I mean, it does make sense, especially for like these spells, this build. I think it would probably, I mean, like, I don't mind having another person with me because another person can be invisible, another person can do virtually everything. As long as we're not like stealthing around, it would be fine for it to be Kira for sure.
Yeah, Kira's not going to leave Brix. Just not going to happen.
So, yeah, I think we'll be good to do. So we could do it. You two could leave, and we can have a breakout Kira Brix recon team, strike team. I don't know. I don't know anything about these
Teams.
terminologies. I don't play the duty of calls. Should we go to the second floor then, and just see what we can do?
Let's do it.
I think...
Let's make some bad decisions.
Oh, yeah. Unless things pop off, Tarazi can always hang out, as just random tourist, so that I'm not outside the building if there is a fight.
So you're not far.
So we had this guy over to the west side. That was a gray room.
I don't think you went in that one. I don't remember you opening the door on that guy. This one down on the southern end of the west side looked like a meeting room with a long table. And the one on the east side was the room that Tarazi glanced in that had like a bunch of broken shields and stuff in it.
And it's all gray in there.
Yeah, and then up top was where the giants were.
All right, what do y'all think? We could either go into the meeting room and see if it leads somewhere else, or we can try to go into the giant's room and see if there's some way we can stash it behind like a giant or something and kick out.
The giant room would probably make the most sense, but it's also very dangerous.
which makes it fun.
If they have any way of noticing you, then suddenly you're trapped in a room with a lot of giants.
This is true, and I do have 2 dimension doors, 2 teleports, 2 greater teleports as my full, because the Void School has pretty much all the like teleportation magic as my school spells. So we can move around a lot if need be. What do you think, Big Stuff? Do you want to... Okay, so the benefits of dropping it in the giant room, right?
I'm inclined to lean giant room just because it's fun, but that's not a good reason.
Yeah, you know what? It could be a waste. Kira, come with me. Yeah, let's do it. Just stay next to me. And
Where's Brixby?
where you can...
You can't see
Right
Brixby
up here.
because he's currently invisible.
right here, down here, and we're gonna dimension door approximately about right to here, about 30 feet in the southwestern direction. And I'm going to use tricky spells, so it's completely silent. And once we pop out, I am going to try to stealth from that location, drop the gun out of the bag, maybe behind a sleeping giant or anything else we can hide in. Then I come back to you, and we zoop out. Sound good?
Okay, but be careful.
All right, let's dimension door. Abraca going into the room.
You poof from one room into another, where you find yourself in a room containing several large mounds of filthy, stinking, flea-infested furs, upon which lounge hill giants. There are 6 hill giants in here in total, and it looks like the room is set up to cram a few more in if they need to. There are also doors that lead to the south, 2 of them, and then there's a sort of more narrow hallway that would be inconvenient for the hill giants to use, that has another doorway at the end of it that heads further to the east.
Does it look like there's unattended, stinky refuse that I could easily spirit this gun to?
I mean, there's stinky refuse that you could do a stealth roll to sneak the gun into.
Yes. All right. My moving stealth roll, so it's only a plus 20 there on my existing. So we'll see. 39.
I very much doubt a hill giant can beat that, even though 2 of them rolled an 18 and 1 rolled a 17. I'm just going to verify. Those are monster rolls, but I very much doubt that they have the kind of perception bonus required to notice a Brixbow. No. No, they don't.
No, like plus 21 perception or whatever.
Weirdly, they don't. They are rocking a lower number. Brixby is able to sneak the gun into one of the refuse piles here, seemingly unnoticed.
All right. Now all we have to tell them is that we saw our tone, store it in here, and we just have to find someone to say that to the shade for us. Either us posing. We should really get out of this room before we continue scheming. I'm putting the cart before the horse here. Another casting of tricky spells to dimension door Kira and I all the way down to the landing where I originally went invisible last time.
Even though Kira can see so many doors,
Yup. I'm so sorry, Kira.
so many doors.
So I'm gonna de-invisify. All right. So we planted it in with the refuse, and now we just have to let the right person know. I think the shade is the perfect one to get that information. But yeah, let's get out of this scary palace.
All right, we're booking it out of the palace.
It's been long enough that we can go have dinner with Kevoth Cool before we go.
Just casually, not booking it. Just casually walking out. Onesie twosie.
Stop in the lobby and buy a commemorative coin.
Not all 4 of us with the sunglasses and the explosion behind us.
Yeah, it's like we did a heist in a Steven Soderbergh movie, and there's cool bongos behind us, but we're walking out really smooth.
As
Ocean's 4.
instead of the very capable 4, now you're Ocean's 4.
What if we just went back to Mockeries and saw if he had any ideas on how to get info to the Shade? Like, I feel like people running an underground resistance would know the most about how snitches work
Yeah.
in the city.
No, he'd be a perfect person to ask. Like the best way to present ourselves or any kind of code word to say or anything.
Or even if we should do it. Like, we could pay somebody to do it. I mean, I know that's like this is very much a kill the messenger style organization, I feel like. I don't know. I wouldn't want to break any bad news.
I mean, if we're going down the train of potentially impressing the Shade as prize fighters, we could always, even mention that as like a way of trying to impress her.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The question is, how do we express that we know who Gartone is?
Well, happens to be luckily extremely easy to recognize.
Is he public facing? Is he like kind of out?
Well, I
in
mean, we
public?
don't even have to say his name. We can just say like the technically captain with half his face burned off.
Yeah, that is true.
Like that's what I mean. Like he is very physically distinctive.
That would make that more compelling.
Almost
Yeah.
as physically distinctive as the Shade.
The other question is, what if someone, what would be even easier to approach is the stupid old Baron. Like, I bet the Baron has even less. Maybe the Baron has been like, they seem very imperious, right? Like, maybe they have been taking some efforts on their own to try to figure out what happened to that and how it got stolen from them. Could we see the information through the Baron? Because it would be helpful if you could pop in like little technically bits of info to the Shade, but we don't know what could possibly expose us to. And I'm wondering if it would just be easier, and then he would just do the work for us, maybe.
Do we know where to find him though?
But you could always figure that out next week. Because I'm going to bed.
Good night, Sam.
Took too long. Night, Sam.
Good night, Sam.
Good night, Sam.
Good night, overly complicated heist.
Where we leave, we don't steal something. It's a reverse heist.
Well, that's why it's so complicated.
It's a stiff.
It's just, yeah. Just, okay.
Say. Yeah.
Against the machine. Against the machine.
Hot Against the Machine is property of Network Against the Machine LLC, all rights reserved. Pathfinder and the Iron Gods Adventure Path are property of Paizo Publishing. See their website for more details. Theme Against the Machine was written and performed by our own Zach. See the show notes for additional music and sound licensing. If you enjoyed the show, we encourage you to leave us a review.
I don't know if they actually did it or not, but it was rumored that they were going to use the tourism smell our dairy air motto. I don't know if they're actually doing it or not. Oh, it's apparently associated with Wisconsin more often than it is. What about Tillamook, though?
Recording that dairy air.
Wait, Cabot is associated with Wisconsin?
No,
Like,
no.
none of their-
Smell our dairy.
Oh.
Smell our dairy air.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say like one of their best-selling cheeses is like called like Vermont white cheddar.
Yeah, Cabot's a Vermont thing. There's like 6 people in that state, and they all either work for Cabot or they are Bernie Sanders.
5 employees and Bernie Sanders. Wait.
It was the less popular sequel to Two Guys, a Girl, and a Pizza Place. It was just 5 Guys and Bernie Sanders, which is oddly not a partnership between 5 Guys, Burgers, and Fries. It's just the inhabitants
It's
of
just
Vermont.
literally 5 guys.
5 guys who make cheese, though.
Oh, God, I love cheese. Let's talk more about cheese.
I mean,
The cheese is
get me
so-
going on a sugar shack. That is like the true Northeastern gem, in my opinion. Like
Is that
maple
like
sugaring.
maple syrup?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. You go and it's just a bunch of like woods people getting drunk for 20 hours as they just boil down the sugar water, and like every hour you're like, Yeah, sweet, not sweet enough. Sit down, drink a little. It's like ice fishing,
Yeah.
but like with
I really
sugar
want to
liquid.
try it, but I'm not going to do that.
I love the smell. There's like that smell of like boiling like maple sap, even when it's still really watery. It's just like such a northeastern smell. Boop. Just in case that if there's somebody in there now and the door opens, we can just be like, oh, I'm doing so well to take down the like 99 days without a swear word.
It had been a long time.
Legally distinct Ocean's 4.
Oh my god, because there's 4 of us and there were 11 of them. Wow. Today I learned.
We're here anytime, Clooney, if you want to write in.
It's true. I really loved in one of them where they had Julia Roberts play
Julia Roberts.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was just like,
Oh, yeah.
Wow, you look a lot like Julia Roberts. You should.
But then they also had Julia
most-
Roberts playing Julia Roberts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
yep,
That's 13, I believe.
most postmodern heist movie.
Yeah.
Yep.
It got very meta.
Still wasn't as good as when Arnold Schwarzenegger played Arnold Schwarzenegger in Last Action Hero.
I forgot about that.
I'm reminded of a beloved Pathfinder 1 podcast that had 2 different versions of Catherine Zeta-Jones on the town council.
Because they forgot they already cast one as her. 1, 2, 3.